Hey everybody, how you doing? Manitoba Hal here, and I'm on tour. I'm just at the end of a one-month tour in Southern Ontario as part of the CD release for my new album, Blues is in the Water. Many of you have come to see me in Southern Ontario, and I've done a couple workshops. Thank you for that. I really appreciate seeing you, and I look forward to seeing many more of you. You know, I've got dates coming up in Scotland, in the UK, in Europe, in Australia, and in New Zealand, and it's a very good thing. Thank you so much for being a part of my life. Today's video is all about practicing. Yep, practicing. It's a subject that we all have different opinions on, and I want to address one particular area of practicing that I think needs to be highlighted for you. The first part is that I think there needs to be a distinction between repertoire, which is the songs that you know how to play, and skills development. I think an awful lot of people spend a lot of time practicing songs out of songbooks from their clubs and not on developing skills to play different songs. And I think this is an important distinction for a beginner. You want to put your time into learning new things, not just learning the songs that you are playing over and over again. Now, that's not to say you shouldn't practice your repertoire, absolutely, but practicing your repertoire does not develop you as a player. You play the same things over and over again. You get better at playing those things, but you don't necessarily get any better as a musician. So, what I want to suggest to you is simple. The first thing is, I want you to devote 15 minutes a day to skills development. And here's how I want you to do that. I want you to take 5 minutes a day and practice simply strumming with your strumming hand. Find yourself one of the many collections online of strumming patterns and just put 5 minutes into practicing that strum. Pick one. No, don't try to do 20 in 5 minutes. Pick one and work on it for the 5 minutes every day. And the next thing I want you to do in the next 5 minutes, step 2 if you will, is I want you to pick a key and learn and practice all of the chord shapes and changing between them. It helps if you use that strumming pattern you're working on, but try to just do, 1 or 2 bars of each chord shape and then making the changes and making them happen. Now, it will take time. Your goal is not to be perfect the first time out on this. Your goal is to sit down and start moving your fingers into these shapes you're unfamiliar with every day, not just when you see a song sheet come across your page. The third step is to take the key that you've been working in and the rhythm pattern that you've been working on and play a song in that key. So find some piece of work, some piece of repertoire. And again, I want to stress, your goal at this point is not repertoire. It's to challenge you to complete something effectively and then turn around and use it in a context that is fun. If the song turns into repertoire for you, that's a great thing, but don't treat it like that's what you have to do. So that's day 1. Now day 2, I want you to do the exact same thing, but with a brand new rhythm pattern, a brand new set of chords, and a brand new song. And day 3, etc. Keep going like that. There are 7 days in the week and there are 7 keys. So it should tell you that every day of the week you can practice a different key. What'll start to happen is over a bit of time, usually a week to 2 weeks, you'll start to see familiarities in patterns and progressions that you're playing, and your hands will start to know more chord shapes. And then when a new song comes across your charts, a new piece of repertoire, you won't be so hesitant to sit down and play it. Now, your goal is to constantly move forward. So if your rhythm pattern that you're working on, trying to be consistent with, is a simple down-up strum, you need to start picking harder and harder rhythm patterns. You need to push yourself. But your goal with any rhythm pattern, with any strum, is always to keep get it to a point where you can continually carry it on without breaking while you have a conversation that taxes your mind. So you want to be able to keep that strum and that rhythm and that tempo consistent while you're talking about the latest political furor, whether or not gun control is important, whether or not your government is taxing you too highly. This is an important thing, because what I've learned is that everything that you do that taxes your mind takes away from your ability to do one more task. So if you're trying to remember a song, for example, and you haven't got the rhythm down, you spend too much time focusing on the rhythm, and not on the chord changes or not on the lyrics. And that makes it hard to remember songs. So you want to build these things internally by practicing the individual pieces over and over again. Now, it is a fact that you can do skills development through repertoire by picking hard songs and learning what that song takes. Absolutely, that works. But I would recommend that it's a safer path to turn around and do your skills development separately and then your repertoire. And what you'll find is that the repertoire becomes easier to adapt to and not the big challenge. And the skills development portion is where your challenge exists. And if you do it a little bit every day instead of once a week, you'll get a lot farther along. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video. I am just finishing my tour. I'm right in Southern Ontario at the moment. Next month I am in Scotland at the Scotland Ukulele Festival. Then I am in the UK, I'm in Europe. I mentioned it earlier. There's a list of stuff. I'm going to post it on my website at manitobahal.com. The tour dates are there. I'd love to see you out on the road. So touch base with me. Comment down below if you can make any of these dates. And what else am I saying? Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. These videos are sponsored by my patrons and on Patreon, and I'm really grateful for their involvement in my life and for your attention in these videos. So if you want to take a chance, look at Patreon at the link down here, right here. Follow that link and check out if the Patreon service is for you. You know, I make these videos free every 2 weeks, but on alternate weeks, my patrons get other videos, tutorial videos, behind-the-scene videos. We have a thing called Tech Talk right now, where we go over pedals and gear to produce sounds and so on, so that you can take your ukulele playing to another level. If this is something that interests you, great, follow it. It doesn't cost very much money, and you're completely in control of it. I don't have any say about that money, even to the point of, even if you sign up and on a specific day you can't contribute, you have full say to say no, and that's the way it goes. You can change your contributions at any time, up, down, whatever. That's all in your hands. So take a look at it, see if it suits you, and if it does, great. If it doesn't, these are still going to be free because of them. So thanks for watching and have yourself a great day. And remember, practice, practice, practice.